Yo, what's good, boys? So before we start this episode of The Blueprint, I just want to let you guys know I've got a crazy deal for you today. It lasts from today. When you're watching this, it starts from today until Tuesday. And you can get the drum collection, the entire kit, plus the added bonus of the drum extension, thrown in completely free, which has a bunch of MIDI loops in it for drums and all kinds of stuff like that, for half price. Remember, this is only for 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It ends on Tuesday, so don't miss out. I'm going to leave a link down in the description. We've used the drum collection in probably hundreds of videos, including this one you're about to watch now. All the drums you need to make crazy beats, I'm going to leave a link down in the description. Check it out. Enjoy the video. Peace.
Yo, what's good, boys? Welcome to episode 4. I can't believe we're here. It's mad. 4 episodes is actually crazy. I just want to say before we get any further, you guys have smashed my expectations for this series, like truly obliterated them. It's crazy. Like each episode gets nearly 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. They're all doing really well views wise. Like the comment engagement has been mad. I just want to say shout out to every single one of you guys who comment, who like, who do all of that stuff to support the videos. From the bottom of my heart, I love you guys, really appreciate it. Anyway, we've got a sick episode today. We're covering OZ. We actually did something completely different in this one as well. We actually made 2 beats because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to go with mostly, so I just put them both in. They were both fairly simple beats. They didn't take long to make or anything, so I thought, you know, why not just put them both in, fuck it. So there's 2 beats there you guys can watch me make. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Before we start, make sure you leave a like on this video right now below. Drop a like on this video and also subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Let's get to 40,000 subscribers ASAP. Let's get into the OZ episode. I'll see you guys over there. Peace.
Ozan Yildirim, I hope I said your name right, also known as OZ, is a 29-year-old Swiss producer from Zurich in Switzerland. OZ has been making beats for over 10 years and of course he is FL Gang. More recently, he has worked with Drake, Travis Scott, Future, Meek Mill, Rick Ross and many more, helping to create some of the biggest charting songs from the last 3 years. Another artist I have to mention is Shindy, one of the biggest rappers in the German scene and someone OZ has worked with numerous times. One thing I love about OZ is how he speaks a different language, lives in a completely different part of the world, but yet he is still very well connected in the US music scene, therefore proving you don't need to live in LA or even the USA to get the biggest placements. But let's get back on topic. Although OZ has produced a lot of hits, most of these have been for other artists, mainly Drake. He actually only has 2 songs with Travis currently released, so there wasn't much to work with when creating this blueprint. But we had to cover OZ as he has produced arguably Travis's biggest song to date. OZ is a very versatile producer, so to narrow down his sound with Travis was quite difficult. So I had to analyse his music with other artists to give me a better understanding of his style. Another thing that made this video difficult was the lack of content on OZ online. Since he speaks German almost exclusively in all of the videos I could find of him, I couldn't understand hardly anything I came across. But let's check out some of OZ's work so we can get inspired and hear what it is we're aiming for.
Oh, I just landed in, Chase B mixes pop like Jamba Joe's. Different color chains, think my jeweler really selling. She fill my mind up with I Gaben wegen Fashion wie die Vogue. Und ihr missgeboten, dachtet ich wär broke. Friends with money, drop ne Champion-Kollektion.
So we know what it is we need to make, but how do we do it? Let's get into some must-haves.
So, must-haves for an OZ type beat. You can't have an OZ beat without the heavy kind of like synth-based sound from Sicko Mode. In this video I'm going to show you guys how you can make a sound like that with Omnisphere. But yeah, it's a sound he's used on a few beats and I just think it's a staple of his sound. It really makes, you know, it makes his style so much more unique and I actually really like it. So, secondly, we've got bouncy drum patterns in Sicko Mode, and a few of his other songs, the drums are just super bouncy, like you just can't help but notice. Yeah, he really nails the drums in all of his beats. They sound crazy, so yeah, you gotta make sure your drums are on point. And next we've got vocal chants and chops. Basically just, you know, the little chants you get, you can just drop them in there. It adds to the vibe. The chops is mainly like the sort of old school rap vocals. I was listening to this song of Shindy, it had a chop from Shook Ones. And it just sounded so sick, and I've heard him do it before. I think he might have done it in the Sicko Mode song as well, maybe. Hard hitting kick and snare. I mean, this is basically for every single beat I make, especially for an OZ type beat, you know what I'm saying? Like, the snare from Sicko Mode, probably one of the hardest snares you're going to hear in rap music. And the kick as well, punching. So make sure if you're making an OZ type beat, you get them 2 elements there on point. Unconventional sound selection. You know, you can't help but hear the sound selection in his work. and just think, wow, that's some crazy shit right there. I don't know if I could use that, but you got to, you know what I'm saying? So find those weird sounds, those unique sounds, make them work. Yeah, we'll show you guys how to do that in this video anyway. And finally, we got simple and catchy melody in all of the songs he's produced for Travis, and even most of the songs he's produced in general. Every single one has an insanely catchy melody, and it just really makes the song what it is. You got to try and get that bit on point, and we'll show you some tips and tricks on how to do that in this video. But yeah, those are the must-haves for an OZ type beat. Let's get into making one.
So this is the first beat of the two. This one is based off of Sicko Mode. You're going to work that out pretty quickly. But we start this beat by just going through some one-shots. I found one in my Bad Dreams one-shot kit, which you can get. I'll leave a link to it down in the description. It sounds very familiar to the Sicko Mode one-shot in the second beat. Obviously the one that OZ produced. Yeah, so we're just getting that ready now, making a little melody with it. Very simple, which is obviously the idea with this beat. So we're just adding a few effects now, one of those being an effects rack and also a fruity delay. We're now moving on to that iconic OZ style bass that we were talking about in the must-haves. I actually made this sound myself. If you want to see how we do that, wait till the next beat and we show you guys how you can do that for yourself with Atmosphere. So straight away I wanted to get the drums down for this beat because it's basically like all the beat it really is. It's just drums and a little melody. So we're just using some sounds from the drum collection. I'll also leave a link to that down in the description. All the drum essentials you need for any genre, any style. Adding that 808 underneath our bass just to give it some more body, some more low end because it's kind of lacking in that department so far. So we're just layering it with the bass sound we've got. Just a nice clean 808 from my Wonder Girl drum kit. So I found this little texture in Arcade. It's in tape, it's called Blade Walker. It's in the background, but it just adds that nice little layer that wasn't there already. We're also going to add some chords underneath the main melody. They're going to be very, very subtle and very quiet, but it's just going to add that added, you know, background that wasn't already there. It's subtle, but it does a lot, trust me. So, the second beat now. I think this one you guys are going to like a lot more. So we're starting off with this weird kind of synthy sound. We don't actually keep this sound, but it's a good starting point for this beat. Found this nice little pluck sound that has a nice delay and effect on it. Once we combine it with our own effects chain, it sounds crazy. Definitely a sound I think OZ would use. So I also found this weird kind of like synthy sound in the Analog Lab. I didn't keep it in the beat, but I thought I'd leave this part in the video anyway, just so you guys can check out this preset for yourselves. So this is how you make a sicko mode style bass. First, you want to go into Atmosphere and search in dubstep bass. There's only a few. We used the one called Mellow Roller. Yeah, you want to just export that out on a C, like a C5. It's going to be quiet. You're going to normalize it. Then you're going to go into Edison and get rid of the silence at the start and also that clicking noise. We show you how to do that right here. Next, we used Effects Rack to add a load of effects to it, like distortion, like some major distortion. And then that leaves us with this sound here. It sounds a little bit like a dog barking, and it's not identical to the sicko mode one. However, in the other song, he's used this bass in, which is Shindy Afalta Back or something. I can't pronounce it. The bass sounds more like this, so I figured, you know, make our own one. But yeah, if you guys want to get this bass, I'm going to leave a link to it down in the description. You guys can download that right now for free. Obviously, we've got to have them bouncy drum patterns. We're also using a snare that's super similar to the one from sicko mode. Just some nice standard two-step hi-hats for now. Punchy kick as well. Let's go. So we're looking for a counter melody now, and I figured I'd use some kind of string element. Found this really nice sort of like violin sounding, string sound in Analog Lab. In so many of his beats, he's used like these orchestral sounds. So, you know, this is really a must-have too. I just didn't put it on there, but yeah, this is my favorite part of this beat. Check it out. So I'm adding this kind of weird effects rack preset to the main melody. It's that added texture that you want to hear. It makes it a lot more complex, but nice too. We're just adding this effects rack preset to our violin just to fatten it out a little bit. It's called Echo Trio Lead. It just basically fattens the sound, gives it some chorus and stuff. It's lit. And of course, we're adding our 808 underneath, just like the first beat. Same as before, adding that body, that low end sound, just accenting that bass perfectly and giving it that boost it needs in the low end. So in loads of OZ beats, he loves to use these vocal effects, these chants, like we said in the must-have. So that's what we're doing right now. We actually pitch it down an octave and then pan it to the right, just to kind of move it out of the way a little bit so it's not as obvious, but it's still there. It sounds sick. So we're adding in a vocal chop. We're using Mobb Deep, Shook Ones Part 2. There's a specific line in it that says "We are the infamous," and I heard it in a Shindy track that Ozzy produced. So I thought, you know what, let's add this in as well. This is some sauce, and also in sicko mode, you know, when he says "Give me the loot," it's that kind of style. That's that Ozzy style. So yeah, we're just adding that in now.
We be the infamous.
So we're going to check out both those beats right now. Let's have a listen. Infamous. So that is episode 4 of the Travis Scott Blueprint. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you're still loving this series. It's been super fun so far. I can't wait to do more episodes. We're going to be shortly wrapping up the Travis Scott series of the Blueprint. There's only going to be probably 2 more episodes of it, and then we're going to wrap it up, shut it down, and move on to somebody else. Maybe a different genre, maybe a different artist. I don't know yet. I'm going to put up a poll probably in a few days, so you guys can vote on that to decide which of the, which next Blueprint should we do. So yeah, anyway, make sure you follow me on Instagram at ProdbyJack. Subscribe to the channel right now, down below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.